Liverpool have already made some big moves this summer. Kelleher has moved to Brentford and Trent Alexander-Arnold has of course left for Real Madrid. And let me tell you, this is just the beginning. There are still many more players who could be facing the axe because Arne Slot, he is showing exactly who he is. A fair manager, but a ruthless one too. We saw it last season as well. If Slot doesn't trust you or if he doesn't think you're going to make a difference on the pitch, then forget about being in the squad. Take the very first game of the season as an example. Quansah started, he struggled and then he got substituted at halftime and we didn't see him again for a very long time. Now Slot can be patient and fair too, because we saw with Wataru Endo, it took him a very long time to trust Endo to come on the pitch. He kept on working hard in training, he kept on giving 100%, so Arne Slot rewarded him with minutes and even praised him during press conferences. So make no mistake, if you have quality, Arne Slot will give you the platform to show your quality. But if he feels you're a negative on the pitch, he will not waste his time. Even back during his Feyenoord time as a manager, Slot was never afraid to let players go if they didn't fit his system. So in this video, I am breaking down every Liverpool player currently linked with a move away from Liverpool. I'll tell you who should be kept, who should be sold and why. And I'll also highlight the players Liverpool might regret letting go. Let's get into it. Let's start with the player I talked about before, Quansah, because out of all of the defenders, he is closest to leaving. Liverpool are reportedly close to agreeing a 30 million fee with 5 million in add-ons and a buyback clause with Bayer Leverkusen for them to sign Quansah. Now I've seen many fans split about this decision. Some people are calling it a huge mistake and others think it's a fantastic deal. So let's break it down. Quansah is just 22 years old, which is quite young for a centre-back. He's had 2 seasons at Liverpool, one excellent one under Jurgen Klopp and one follow-up one which wasn't as good under Arne Slot. It was definitely underwhelming. Look, he has some real strong qualities. He's solid at defending set pieces, he's calm under pressure, and he carries the ball out with real composure and confidence. He's strong in his duels, he's physically imposing, and when he's on it, he looks absolutely brilliant. But here's the issue, consistency. To be a top level defender, to be a Liverpool defender, you have to be reliable game after game. And Quansah, he has a bit of a bozo gene. Whenever mistakes happen at the back, it always seems to be him involved with the mistake, either by bad luck or just by lapses in concentration. But that is dangerous in big moments, in big games that Liverpool play. So I think Liverpool are open to selling as long as the price is right, which is exactly what Bayer Leverkusen are paying. 35 million is absolutely a brilliant deal for Liverpool. That's pure profit in the books. It helps massively with PSR and it opens up a lot for Liverpool to reinvest in the squad. And in my opinion, if they bring in Mark Gahey, who's only 2 years older than Quansah, to replace him, then that deal becomes unbelievable. So overall, I agree with Liverpool selling Quansah. Now let's move on to Joe Gomez, Liverpool's longest serving player. 10 years at the club, some highs and some very tough lows. His resilience has been absolutely elite at this club. The mentality that he has to come back from the injuries that he has had is so impressive. He's also a leader in the dressing room, quiet but respected. Some fans point to the injuries and say it's time to move him on, but I think they seem to forget that he is homegrown. He's versatile because he can play along the whole of the back line and he's still at a very good age. He can cover the whole back line like we need, and if he is the 4th choice centre back, that is incredible depth in the position. The only way I'd sell Joe Gomez is if the fee is high, and I'm talking 25 to 35 million, or if Gomez pushes for the move himself. Otherwise, you don't want to change too much too fast, so I would keep Joe Gomez. Next up, we have Andy Robertson, Liverpool's 1st choice left back for many seasons, and at his peak, he was one of the best in the world. Now he's linked to a move away to Atletico Madrid, and from what we know, he is open to it. Of course, we can't ignore that his agent is Trent Alexander-Arnold's brother, and we all know how much of a snake and how much drama this guy loves, especially if Liverpool are confirming that Milos Kerkez is joining. That said, things have gone a bit quiet about Robertson's move. My view is I wouldn't sell Robertson. He's an experienced, high-level backup for Milos Kerkez. He doesn't need to play every game. He just needs to stay fresh. And when he is fresh, he is still a top-level left-back. And yes, his crossing might have dipped, but he still has a brilliant delivery on him going into the box. So overall, he's a very useful left-back to have, especially with the leadership skills that he brings. And so if he does want to leave, that is the only way I would let him go. Because he's a Liverpool legend, I would let him go on his own terms. But if he's willing to stay, we should keep him. Now, Kostas Tsimikas. He recently said in an interview that he would rather play 25 to 30 games at Liverpool than play every single game at another club, which is fair play to him. And look, if Robertson leaves, we might need to keep Kostas Tsimikas because we need a backup for Milos Kerkez. But in my opinion, Arne Slot doesn't rate him, and to be honest, he's declined over the years and he is definitely not the same fullback that we signed. There could be Premier League interest, and that is the time to cash in. Regardless of what happens to Robertson, I'd sell Tsimikas. If both go, then Liverpool should look to bring in a new left back, someone like Diogo Jota, for example. And finally, I just want to touch on Ibrahima Konate because he's in the last year of his contract and there's rumours of Real Madrid and PSG both wanting him. In my opinion, you don't sell him, regardless if he signs a new contract or if he doesn't, because what it costs him to replace is about a 50 million plus centre back who has the same level as him. And in my opinion, there is not one available in the market right now. So you keep him for the season and hopefully Liverpool are able to convince him to sign a new contract and Konate keeps his long-term future at the club. Alright, let's move on to the midfielders, and we're starting with the big one, Harvey Elliott. Now look, every single Liverpool fan loves Harvey Elliott, and Harvey Elliott loves Liverpool. He has always given 100%. He is a very talented footballer to watch. He's a joy to watch with the ball at his feet. His left foot is absolutely wicked. He can thread passes right through defences. His ball striking has definitely been improving, and there's no doubt that he is a Premier League proven player. But here's the problem. Elliott has two main positions, a right winger or a central midfielder, maybe an attacking midfielder. But under Arne Slot, he's not quick enough to be a winger because you need to be a touchline winger for most of the game. And he's not physical or athletic enough to be a midfielder because you have a lot of defensive work to do, which Harvey Elliott cannot carry. You have a 30-40 million asset that you're not using throughout the season, then there's no point keeping him on the bench. It's time for him to move on. He needs regular game time. He needs to be one of the main men at a new club, especially because Liverpool have now signed Florian Wirtz, who plays the same role at a much higher level. So, and there are definitely clubs out there in the Premier League especially who will want Harvey Elliott. And if Liverpool can get 30 to 40 million, it's a great deal for all parties involved. So we should definitely sell him. Next up, we have Tyler Morton, and this one is quite simple. We should have sold him last summer, and this summer we should definitely sell him. He's clearly too good for the Championship, and he's about a lower league, Premier League level player. And in my opinion, he could even go abroad to the Bundesliga where there was interest for him previously. Morton is very tenacious in the midfield. He's got decent passing range and he isn't afraid to get stuck in. At Liverpool, in my opinion, he has no future, so you sell him. Next up, we have Stefan Bajcetic, a player that really divides opinion. There are some people who think this kid is the next Iniesta or Xavi, and there are some people who think he's just not good enough for Liverpool. We all need to remember and calm down the expectations on this player. When he broke through, he was excellent, but he's had a couple of major injuries which have really held him back. Can he really afford to stay at Liverpool and be a bench player where he doesn't get minutes? In my opinion, the main focus for the next season he needs is to get regular minutes. And in my opinion, if he doesn't get a pre-season because of this hamstring injury that he's got, then he needs to leave and go on loan somewhere else and get some minutes in those legs. And then we can see after the next season whether Bajcetic should stay or leave. Right now is where it gets really juicy. The front line. So many talented footballers and a real chance that several could be leaving. Let's start with Diaz. He's just had his best season in a Liverpool shirt. He's got 2 years left on his contract, however, and there's interest from Barcelona and the Saudi clubs. Diaz himself is open to staying, but he's also open to leaving depending on the opportunity. Barcelona can't afford him, we all knew that, so that door is closed. Saudi clubs are definitely circling, but they haven't made their move yet. Here's my take. I'd keep Diaz. He's shown he can deliver, he's explosive off the left, and he can even cover up front. And the players Liverpool are signing, he could get even better next season. But I wouldn't give him a new contract. Right now, he is at a very low wage and there's no need to bump it up. The reports are that Liverpool are willing to sell, but only for a big fee. If they're not, they're happy to let him run down the contract because it's not very expensive. The contract is quite small. And honestly, that is the right move in my opinion. You keep Diaz if a good enough fee doesn't come in. And then next summer, you can think about selling him with only 1 year left on his contract at 29. He'll probably go for a small fee, but that would definitely be the right time to sell him with all the other players we could sell in the front line. Because next up, we have Darwin Nunez, and he's gone, no doubt in my mind. Under Klopp, he lost confidence. Under Slot, he has completely lost his mind and place. He just doesn't suit Slot's style of play. I still believe, though, there is a top player there somewhere, and there's interest from Napoli and some Saudi clubs. And if Antonio Conte gets his hands on Darwin Nunez as his main Serie A striker. I genuinely think Darwin Nunez could explode in the Serie A. But at Liverpool, we've given him chances, plenty of them. So now it's time to move on. He's worked hard, he's made great runs, and he's created chaos. And yeah, he's missed some huge chances, which we all know. Throughout the seasons, Darwin Nunez has missed some big moments, but he's also had his moments too. And in the recent season going, that brace against Brentford, no one will ever forget it. I will always be a big fan of Darwin for the effort he's provided to the team. But right now, it's time to sell him, to reinvest, and bring in someone like Ekitike or Alexander Isak. And that moves me on to another player who could move to Napoli, and that's Federico Chiesa. When Liverpool signed him on the cheap, I was excited. I thought if he gets anywhere near to the level he was before his ACL injury, we have an absolute player on his hands. But unfortunately, he just never got going. And it's not really all his fault because Slot just didn't fancy him. Right now, it's a World Cup year and that matters to Federico Chiesa. He needs to be playing regularly for him to be in the squad. And let's not forget, he is a good footballer. He's very good in his 1v1s. He can shoot on his right and left foot and he creates brilliant separation from his markers. Napoli are definitely interested and I really hope he gets the move. He deserves to play and I always respect him for how much he has appreciated being a Liverpool player. The next player we have is Diogo Jota. It says a lot about Arne Slot that 4 of Liverpool's 6 attackers could be sold this summer in the first season under him and he still won the Premier League title. Jota was definitely one of my favourites when he was on it because he was clinical, he was cold and he was deadly in the box. But this past season, the injuries have definitely caught up to him. He's lost that spark he had. He doesn't move the same. He doesn't compete the same in duels. And even his finishing hasn't been as clinical as it used to be. Now, there's no major interest yet, but if he's willing to stay as a backup striker, playing less often than he should be, then I don't mind actually keeping him. Otherwise, if a big offer comes in, or if Diogo Jota wants to be playing regularly with the World Cup year coming, the hard truth and the right call is to let Diogo Jota go. And finally, there's Ben Doak, a very talented left-footed winger, explosive speed, a proper creator, someone who had an excellent loan spell in the Championship, and he could even be kept as a backup winger to Mohamed Salah. But there's a lot of interest in him, and if an offer of 25 to 30 million comes in, then there's no way Liverpool end up keeping him. They will cash in. So that's the front line done. Some big names, some emotional decisions, but this is a new era. Arne Slot is shaping the squad this way, and the attack might look very different come the new season. So what's really happening? Arne Slot gave him a full season to evaluate this Liverpool squad, to see who he can trust, and now he is making those decisions of which players need to go. Ruthless decisions. And that's exactly what great managers do. They don't hold on to players for sentimental reasons. They let them go once they feel they are not the right player for the squad that they have, for the competitions that they are aiming to win. Look at this squad. Players like Joe Gomez, Diogo Jota, Tsimikas, they've been here for years, but sometimes, both emotionally and physically, a player's cycle at the club comes to an end. And I feel like a lot of these players' cycles are coming to an end. We were winning a lot of games last season, more with grit than with tactical control. And that's what Slot wants. He wants tactical control. Especially now with Trent Alexander-Arnold leaving. Slot wants players who are technically gifted, comfortable progressing the ball, whether that's out wide or through centrally, and are always clean with their first touch. He's been backed by the board. Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards are both by his side now. After winning the Premier League, he has earned their trust and the fans' trust. He's proven himself, and now he holds all the cards. So if he doesn't see a player as a future difference maker, they are definitely gone, and they deserve to go. Slot's not here to make friends. He's not here to play it safe. He is here to build his legacy at Liverpool, to win trophies consistently, to keep Liverpool at the top, and not just for one season, but for many years to come. And to do that, you have to be ruthless. He's laying the foundations for the next great Liverpool side. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of who I believe Liverpool will be selling this summer. Up next, I'll probably be diving into the perfect remaining signings that Liverpool should make to complete the squad this summer. So make sure to like the video, comment your thoughts below. Which players do you think need to leave and why? Subscribe for more Liverpool breakdowns and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.